talk about the types of free enterprise business. There are three categories. Business can be categorized by its size and scope, by its purpose, and by its place within the industry. We're going to talk about all three of those. First of all, size and scope. Large versus small businesses. A small business is operated by only one or a few individuals, generally has fewer than 100 employees. A large business is considered one that employs more than 1,000 people. And so you have everything in between large and small also. Obviously, they have different scales of operation, different ways of getting their product out there based on how much money they have to spend on the size of their company many times. Then there is domestic versus global. A business that sells its products only in its own country is considered a domestic business. A global business sells its products in more than one country. And we've heard about that a little bit already. Okay. The next trait is purpose. You have profit versus nonprofit organizations. A for-profit business seeks to make a profit from its operations. That just goes without saying. A nonprofit organization functions like a business but uses its money that it makes to fund the cause that it is identified with in the charter that it set up for its business. Nonprofit organizations generate revenue through gifts and donations, and then they don't have a profit later on. They just use it all for whatever they said they were going to use it for. So besides profit and nonprofit for their purpose, you also have public versus private. Public sector companies are government-financed agencies such as the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Private sector companies are businesses not associated with government agencies. So they can actually do work for the government. They can be contracted to do work for the government, but they are their own company. They are not run by the government, so that makes them private. So you've got for-profit, not-for-profit, public, and private for their purpose. Okay, let's move on to their place in the industry. You can have wholesalers or retailers. Wholesalers obtain their goods from the manufacturer. They resell them to organizations, other wholesalers, or retailers. Wholesalers are also called distributors. Retailers buy goods from wholesalers or directly from manufacturers and resell them to the consumer. For the most part, retailers cater to the consumer market. And for the most part, if you don't, you won't have a market. So they pretty much do cater to them. They do have to make a profit also, but the consumer is their customer, so they have to make sure that they are pleasing them. So you have wholesalers and retailers. I can talk, really, I can. And the difference is wholesalers kind of have the product and they distribute them. Retailers mark it up and sell it directly to the consumer. Wholesalers might sell it to retailers. They might sell it to other organizations. So that's the difference between the two. Sometimes there are things you cannot buy from a wholesaler. It must be from the retailer. And that is the characteristic of the type of business, one of the characteristics. So you have size and scope, and you have purpose and industries and markets, which are their place in the industry, wholesalers and retailers. Obviously, consumers still drive your business, no matter which three of those you're talking about. And if consumers don't like your business, they are not going to use your business, and you might go out of business. So that is it for types of businesses.